happy Monday, you guys. Thank you guys once again for tuning back in, and let's get right into it. So, unfortunately, looking at the thumbnail, it was another red day to start the week off, but it was definitely managed, and I just want to get started into my thought process. It was very clear to me what I did wrong today to end red, and I just want to go ahead and share that with you guys. So, right around here was when the market opened up, and as you guys will notice, we did immediately start getting a direction for SQQQ, right? Meaning that the Nasdaq was starting to sell off, and SQQQ, the inverse ETF, was starting to push up. So once I saw the market start to sell off, immediately I started again to SQQQ, and I fully averaged up. And my first trade was actually green on the day, and I can go ahead and show you guys that. So here are my filled orders on the day, 285, just to show you guys really quickly. And yeah, just to share with you guys, here were my first trades on SQs, and it was green, not much at all. And I'm going to share with you guys kind of how much I made and everything. But I was up 65 on the day. Down 65 on SQs. I would have been nice to be up, right? And I was up $18 on TQs. So I was down on the day, just under $50. And yeah, so just getting that out the way, I want to go ahead and share with you guys my thought process. So the main thing that led me to be wrong today, without a doubt, was being so one-sided on the day, and I was just blinded to the fact of trying to go with the true direction on the day. Today, I kept looking for a play on SQQQ, meaning I was betting that the market was going to start falling, and obviously that's why I lost the majority of my money today on SQQQ, because the market didn't fall today, right? It did rally instead, and right around here after I locked in my trade, and the reason why I locked it in was because it did start falling immediately and I fully averaged in, but I know that the market did just open up, and right around the time when the market opens up, like the first 5 minutes, usually the Nasdaq does like to kind of change direction pretty aggressively. So once I saw that nice push in my favor, I just locked it in, but it was only up I was only up on the day like $20 to start the day off. And like I just said, what led me to be red on the day was thinking that the market was going to have to start selling off. And I kept thinking it was going to start selling off just because leading into the market open, it was starting to sell off a bit, and it did fall aggressively. Now let me share with you guys why that was such a bad mindset to have on a day. And it's because right around here, right when I looked at the Nasdaq on the different time frames, this is the 5-day, 5-minute, I saw that anytime it approached this general area, it did tend to act as a resistance sometimes, right? And it would start to sell off pretty aggressively. It did that a couple of times, right? And it did that leading into the market open. So I thought seeing that we are going to start seeing another play to the downside, because the market was recently downtrending so much. And although that definitely could have been a possibility, the reason why I shouldn't have been so blinded by that was because the market did start to pull back, but right around the first 5 minutes, if you guys will notice, there was such a nice support candle that formed here, this nice green candle that led it to kind of change direction on a day, and I should have been aware of that fact. Because if you look at the Nasdaq, let me just share that with you guys again on the different time frames, right? Although the market did start to sell off, it formed a higher low off of his middle VWAP here, right? It was able to find a support, and it formed a higher low, and it did start to rally. And what really should have given it away to me that it was starting to change direction was that it clearly started to form these green candles trending above this blue EMA line again. And I should have been aware of the fact that it was now trying to use it as a support, right? To make these higher highs and higher lows. Just like it was previously doing recently, leading into the market open. I was just so blinded by this first one move down, and anytime the market pushed up, I kept thinking it was just going to form a lower high somewhere here and start to fall, and that never happened. And right around here where the line is, right around here with this pencil marker, you'll see that this was a pretty clear resistance, and once the market broke here is why it really started to rally. It was just showing signs on every different chart that it could have really started to go, right? It formed this higher low, this nice support candle, which I should have been on the lookout for. I kept thinking market was going to fall around here because it did previous times, but it did form a nice higher low. And on top of that, when it broke this area of resistance, it really just started to rally and provided some nice moves for the upside for TQQQ. So unfortunately, I could not take part in any of that, right? And I ended up losing money on the day, but thankfully it was somewhat managed. I was down just under 0.5% on the day, and I'm really gonna look to take advantage of plays like this better the rest of the week. And I definitely need to be more open-minded, right? That's where I went wrong today. And as much as it sucks to lose money, right? You always have to make sure to manage those emotions and not beat yourself up so much. I've done that in the past, and it just makes trading that much worse, and it feels so hopeless, right? Like you're never gonna get it down or anything. So make sure to stay optimistic. It's super important, and try and learn from your mistakes. Last week I started the week off, or 2 weeks ago, right? My brother traded last week. I started the Monday off on a horrible note, right? I was down 140, and I ended up green on the week, even though it wasn't much. So yeah, the mindset is a huge part. So don't let that take over anything, and yeah, just learn from your mistakes. Like I just said, it's important to show up every day. And I'm going to do my part in making sure to be more open-minded and not just, I really need to pay attention to the charts and go with direction. I kept looking for a play, thinking when the market was pushing up right around here, it was overbought and was finally going to start to sell off, right? Only for it to actually keep rallying. And I need to do a better job of paying attention to what the charts are actually telling me, like I just said, because this was just a clear sign right here. It formed a higher low with this strong green candle, and once it broke this resistance, there's really no reason at all why I shouldn't have been able to take part in all of this upside, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. And actually, right before I close out the video, probably the most important part, but tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day for the market because the CPI data report is going to be released. And let me just quickly show you guys the website FinViz. I've showed you guys this before, but this is a website you can come to. Just look up on Google like FinViz economic calendar, and it'll be like the first link. And this website is really good just because it shows you the different reports that come out for the market. And as you guys can see, tomorrow, Tuesday, February 14th, is going to be the CPI data report. And the impact is obviously going to be pretty gigantic on the market. That's why it's in dark red and it has these exclamation marks. So it tells you what's expected for the market and what was the prior report, kind of how it did. And yeah, like I just said, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. but 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, an hour before the market opens up. So be on the lookout for that. We definitely will have a big effect on the market and should be interesting. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.